All right. Hello, 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 and welcome. Hi, Gear Joe. I hope to have fun arting. Good to see you. I hope you have a good day. However, what is my water bottle doing there? My desk is so disorganized. I really ought to clean it up and think about this at a time when I'm not streaming. I also just realized that I completely forgot to get my background noise set up in advance. The silence is crushing, but we're gonna bring in that handy dandy background noise that I love for my writing streams. Um, and that's how you became a salmon. These things do happen, don't they? Well, salmon or not, hello and welcome. We are doing something a little bit different. It has been a hot minute since I've done a writing stream, an art stream. I lost the means to do so for a while, but we're trying again. Turn on the cafe, turn down the street a little bit, keep the music up, let's keep the ocean up. There we go. I love this background noise. Helps me focus like nothing else. Anyway, I swear, I have no idea why this art program makes my canvas look so yellow, but, I don't know how to fix it, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. Regardless, today, because I'm getting a bit of a late start and playing Shadows of Doubt, I tend to run over, which is not something that I have the means to do today. We're working on a little bit of art instead. My dearly having got himself and I interrupted it. Well, what can I say? Some things take precedence. My dearly beloved nemesis sent me this beautiful piece of work for Artfight, and now I am replying with my own take on the cannibal picnic. Which is what this mess of scribbles on the screen is meant to be. Today my goals are to take this mess of scribbles and, make it better? Make it work. Oh, I'm on Team Comedy! I am on Team Comedy. I am happy to do... I love revenges. I am happy to do friendly fires. I don't tend to do mass attacks, but that's only because I am who I am. I don't know. Now eternal enemies. Oh dear. Okay, like everybody has different things that they are good at, and everybody has different things that they admire about others. While I am decently good at, like, I draw a lot of faces. I do a lot of portrait work. I struggle with dynamic posing, and I really, really envy people who have a solid, like, stylized art style. That's something that I can't seem to manage in my own work. So it's like good, there's no such thing as one person like better. There's just different things that different people strive to emulate. So this line doesn't need to be there. And this is also, like, this sketch you're looking at now, it is a sketch, it is rough, but it's also not the first sketch. I had a whole bunch of false starts, and you're not seeing the when I took this over into a pose model software to mock up and figure out, like, the positioning and the perspective, like, even this is not the from scratch. Like, yeah, you see here? You see the pose models I work with to get the positioning and the layering. So it's like, I've practiced. I like to think I'm decent at what I do, but there's a lot of tricks and such where it's not... I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. Okay, de what? De what? I'm like, look at. Confused noises as I tried to find anything ever. Yeah, I can't find anything because I am a hack and a fraud. And I just simply do not know where to click ever on anything. I'm at the point. I'm just gonna take the screenshot I took of the pose models that I work with, and I'm gonna shove it up here in the corner as my guide, my reference. I'm such a hack and a fraud. I didn't even export it as a proper image. I just screenshotted my tablet. I don't know why, but I really love the way Kyrus's expression came out. Or is coming out. It's not done yet. We're just that wide-eyed what? And it is kind of nice, because the way that the, how do I want to do this? Do I want to... I'm interrupting myself. Screw it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flatten the sketch, the multiple layers of scribbles I've got for each of these different characters, so that I can, work with them easier and not have to search through a bajillion layers for the one that I want. Clean up these sketches a little bit easier. Got attacked twice in such joy. Good! Good! Attacks for all! I swear, one of my favorite things to do, this piece I'm doing right now, is for my dearly beloved nemesis. But I found my dearly beloved nemesis by doing the thing that I love to do, hitting random user until I find something that compels me. And I don't know why, I really enjoy hunting down artists who are, like, just the way their style is, it seems like they're at the closer to the beginning of the artistic journey. They're still obviously learning in ways that they probably, like, snobbish folks may or may not attack them, which is sad. I specifically hunt down people who might not be getting a bunch of attacks, and I attack them, and it makes me happy. Okay. You know, I should probably pull in my, the reference sheet for this character I'm working on. My dearly beloved Nemesis's character. There we go. What layer am I on? Where am I? That's not it. There I am! I found me! I swear, I scream more doing art than I do playing, like, horror games, because, like, the monster in the video game can't hurt me, but, accidentally realizing I've accidentally been drawing on the wrong layer for the past half hour, that causes real pain. Real psychic pain. I feel like the hair needs to be a little bit wilder. But yeah, no, like... come and attack me on Artfight, I will do my very best to send at least one revenge. I can't necessarily promise anything, because making promises leads to breaking promises, and I don't want to do that. But I try at least. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the level of unhinged I think I'm looking for. In this expression. Because these are a bunch of cannibal weirdos having a picnic in the woods. They need to... all different flavors of insane. Every time I look at Ed Curious's face, it amuses me. Being attacked brings such joy. Yes! Yes! Same! I'm like, there are things I'm good at, but there's a lot of things that I definitely wish I could do better in my own art. And oftentimes I catch myself really getting in my own head about it. Like, I'll spend too long agonizing over things that really don't need to be agonized about, and then I'll, like, get convinced it sucks, and it'll wind up sucking because I got to in my own head. But between the sheer dopamine of attacking and being attacked, and the, I don't know, the fact that Artfight is just for fun, it's not, like, it's not serious. It frees up my brain in a way that makes my art genuinely come out better. Like, I'm suddenly remembering that one time I took a drawing class. I took an actual, like college level drawing class. And there was the one time I full on, like, misunderstood the assignment. The professor said we had a limited time to try and draw, that he laid out a skeleton on the little platform where the thing we were drawing, they go. And we had a limited time to draw it with our charcoals and such. And when he said a limited time, I think he meant the class period. But when he said a limited time, I heard, like, 5-10 minutes. So I full on was like, okay, who cares if it's good? The point is just to get it drawn. So I sketched out this skeleton though I only had 5 minutes. But then 5 minutes passed and he didn't call time. And then 10 minutes passed and he still didn't call time. So, like, I got something that I would have been prepared to call good enough, I guess, within those 10-15 minutes. And then I had the rest of the class period to just refine it. And that was a heck of an experience because it was like, wait a minute. Oh, I think too much. I need to think less when I draw. I don't love the way those lines work right there. Let's make the hair a little bit more wee. Pen. I swear, ever since I got this particular tablet after my old one crapped out on me, it's the weirdest thing. So the nib on my stylus pen thingy will just randomly become unscrewed while I work. That never used to happen with my old one. But with this one, I periodically have those moments where it just, like, stops working, and I'm like, oh, gotta screw the thing back in. There we go. That looks about right. So lucky that the Procreate does not show you all of the zooming and rotating I do with my canvas while I work. Because if it did, this would be unwatchable. I am constantly zooming and spinning and doing all sorts of nonsense to get things at an angle my wrist likes. Kind of like that. And let's refine these lines a little bit, make those teeth a little bit more teeth. Only slightly though, they don't need to be like detailed teeth in a picture like this. There's enough else going on. I just need the teeth to be good enough that you're not gonna be looking at the teeth going, these teeth are weird. There we go, that's the expression I wanted. Pupil of the one eye, not the pupil, the, whatever's going on here needs to be ever so slightly different. Ever so slightly different than that. Like that? Something like that. Random stranger. Yes! I swear every time... I am looking too close, you're right. But every time somebody, like, sends me an attack, it makes my entire brain light up, and I start just, like, flailing my hands around and doing a weird little dance. Spelling is hard. Grammar is hard. Everything is hard. Drawing is hard. There we go. There we go. How do I feel if I extend, if I have a little line right there? I don't like that line. Bad line. There? No, bad line. The flip? That's the line I wanted! Yeah, the teeth look good because I haven't overanalyzed. I will erase that little line there and a little line. There we go. And maybe add a little bit of an extra line there to sort of give the shape a shape. Now. Delete. There we go. So I swear, one of the biggest things that improved my art was when I gave up on, like, the idea of clean line art. Because I personally just don't enjoy doing clean line art. And when I try, I can do it, but I don't have fun. I really like weird, sketchy, rough, textured line art. Sometimes I will actually use texture brushes meant for texturing for my line art. And I love the rough character it gives a thing. I love the grungy, I love the... scribbliness. Let's see about adding an extra little couple of shadowy lines. Ooh, do I like that? I like that in theory, but I need it to follow the curve of the cheek a little more. That's what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, I like rough line art, I like texture, I like colors, I like scribbly. I'm also like, I see artists who they can have like their entire piece come together in just a couple of strokes, and it looks so good. I envy that, because I'm out here, like, I don't just draw a line. When I draw a line, I, like, scribble over the line. I sketch each line. Circle that and we just yeet it off screen. Who needs an eraser? I remember what I was about to do. I was about to take a sip of water. I was about to take a sip of water, and then I distracted myself and forgot. Every time I look at Kyrus's expression, I laugh. came out perfect the first time, and that's so rare that that happens. And it's probably happened because I didn't set out drawing it with the impression that I was drawing it. I was just like roughing it up, mocking up stuff, but I just nailed it first try, and that is rare, and it pleases me. It's so goofy! He's such a weird bug! Here we go. Oh, saving, yes. Saving, yes. Ah! We're good. I didn't realize I was thirsty until I chugged it in half a bottle of water in one go. These things happen. Okay. You know what, let's put these layers I'm scribbling on back in a folder so I can tell who's where. Where's my bug? There's my bug. Should also probably not forget Kenun there in the background looking exhausted. I should also probably maybe scooch him over so he is not completely invisible, or either I scooch him over or I just get rid of him. Like, does he need to be here? He probably doesn't. I don't know. I'll figure that out last. Artfight fell down? Oh no! Blah, 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 blah. Oh dear. Also realized I had to... I see your comment now. Yes, good. Okay, there we go. I'm ADHD, can you tell? Another thing I really want to practice more, in addition to like dynamic posing, fabric. I just kind of stick folds wherever, but I know there's room for improvement. I don't feel like I'm quite where I want to be doing fabric. Oof. Let's debug. His expression's so goofy. It pleases me so much. This is such a weird bug. Though I don't know what his eyelashes are doing here. I do not know. I will fix them eventually. There we go. That's fine. Right? That's fine. I am getting better at using fewer layers all told. That's something I've been working on. And I've been playing with, like, rendering more of a painty style, where I do kind of just do everything all in, not usually one layer, but like a layer for the most of the flat colors and a separate layer for the hair, because hair is its own animal. You know, I'm realizing my penchant towards messy line work, actually, it did not come from nowhere. It came specifically when I switched art programs and went from one with a whole bunch of stabilization, a bunch of like vector tools, to an art program that had no stabilization tools whatsoever. And then in order to compensate for that, my style just shifted. And I like it better now. Just like heck. Heck, actually the way I used color was shaped by that program too, because it was really limited in a lot of ways. And for a very long time, I didn't realize that there was a color picker. I couldn't find it. There was just a palette there that had a limited number of colors to pick from. And it didn't even have a good brown. So if I wanted brown, I had to like go off to the side and mix the red and the green until I got like skin tones I liked. But that was a heck of a learning experience. And now when I'm using colors, a lot of the time, if I'm getting frustrated messing with the color picker, I will just be like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this color, and I'm gonna take this color, and to get the color I want, I'm gonna take my blender, and I'm just gonna scribble. And then I'll just like do that over my entire piece and then just color select from that to get the colors I want. Because for the longest time my art program kind of sucked. But now that I have a good one, my habits from that program are still in... Whoa, that's not what I wanted. I don't even know why I'm mixing this color now because I don't need it. I don't need it right here. What color is this? Need to take it out of context to see it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, actually. Actually, to further refine that to like a skin tone, I think what I would do is I would add just like a dash of pink, or like the skin tone I'm looking for. And then like a little bit of this. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's... probably what I would about want the shadow color to be. Never fair, fair. Yeah, really. What is an art style but gradually developing the things that you like to do versus the things that annoy you? Like, gosh. Another weird quirk of me as an artist is I hate changing my brush size. I will change my brush size for, like, my smear tools. Everything else, no. My pen is the size that it is, and if I want a bigger line, I will use a different pen. I am allergic to changing my brush size. But even that's probably because I have ADHD and I'll often like work on one piece for a little bit and then work on a different piece for a little bit and then work on that other piece and then work on something completely different. So if I change my brush sizes a lot, it confuses me. But if I just keep everything consistent, I am okay. Another thing I need to practice is hands. But is that not just the eternal state of the artist? Yeah, you change it a lot? Yeah, I think most people do. It's definitely a quirk of mine that I don't. Heck, I remember there have been times I've been like drawing around like other friends, and they'll just look over at me like, "What are you doing?" Because they just hear tap 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 as I'm like aggressively drawing a bajillion lines with a tiny pen to imitate a big line. Sometimes touch so slightly and carefully the tablet doesn't recognize. Yeah, same. I also like, heck, a lot of the time if I want a thick line, what I'll do is I'll just like scribble, and then I'll refine it by just erasing the parts to make it look like a nice clean line. When really, that's not one single neat pen stroke, that's the bajillion messy pen strokes. In a trench coat! I was doing Kyrsa's hair. Well, no, I was doing Kyrsa's weird antenna. know how I want that shape to shape. I want more of a refine this out like that, maybe. Very high stabilization. Oh, yeah, yep. Nice, perfect circle without stabilization. And can't draw an ear now. What a mood. I'm suddenly just thinking about, so this dude in the background, who may or may not exist depending on how I feel about the finished piece, is one of my characters who was, I initially started playing in a TTRPG. And to get in his headspace once, I just, like, as I played, I spent the entirety of the session just, like, with, a brush and water, and I got some of that calligraphy practice paper that, shows black when you trail a wet brush over it, so you can practice ages and ages and ages on the same sheet without, you know, wasting a ton of paper. But I just sat there, just drawing circles again and again and again and again until I was good at drawing circles. This circle's pretty nice. Okay, I should focus. I should focus is the mantra by which I live. No, it's not. That's a lie. I say it all the time, but I don't live by it. Because realistically, vibing with ADHD, trying to fight myself to make myself focus doesn't work, because my brain doesn't work like that. The trick is to figure out how to use the brain I've got in ways that work with what I want. Not trying to hammer nails with a screwdriver. Just eat coffee. Honestly, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Today I actually took my ADHD meds though, so I don't need coffee. So just eat coffee? I mean, okay, you say that, but like also, when I said I do, I mean I do. Like, I don't drink coffee, but I have on occasion, when I want caffeine, I will just like eat a coffee bean with some chocolate. Chocolate-covered coffee beans are nice. Get a little bit of the caffeine. And it's a nice little treat. So, it may have been a mistake on your part, but you were, in fact, more correct than you would have been had you not. I want the curve to feel more swoop. It's not swoop enough. I don't know what I mean by that, but I know what I mean. Be gone, bot. No. Be gone, bot. Is it? I don't know what's going on. Oh well. Bloop, 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 bloop. We draw the squiggly line and then we go over it a couple of times so you can't tell it's squiggly no more. And then we erase bits and pieces so you can't tell it's squiggly no more. It's actually to the point where, like, I prefer to work without an auto-stabilizing tool these days because I'm so accustomed to manually taking my messy lines and stabilizing them myself. When the line is anywhere other than where I literally put it, it confuses me. No, computer, you don't know what I wanted. I don't even know what I wanted. So don't put lines in my mouth. There we go. That'll do. He's so goofy. I'm very glad that Artfight gave us 3 teams this year. It's nice to have even more, because, like, in previous years, you know, people with the same tastes tend to pick the same team. Which means that people who have the characters that I would really, really love to draw wind up being friendly fire. Which I often do anyway. But, like, you know? But when there's 2 teams out of 3 that I might have wanted to be on, it's even more likely that people with the characters that I enjoy most, there's more of a shot that they're on a different team. And there's more variety to go around. And I like that. Oh dear, drawing a cat in the reference sheet doesn't have a mouth? Oof. I swear, I was having a devil of a time a while back looking for references for specifically like 1920s and 30s era fashion for a character who, you know, is of that time. And I found a bunch of references, and one of the ones that I kind of liked, I was looking at it and I realized that the fabric blended together in a way that didn't make sense. I was like, oh crap, I can't actually trust this. I hate it here. That'll do. He's so goofy. He's such a bug. I love him. Don't ask me why I'm making sound effects for my brushes. I don't have an answer. There is no answer. Such a weirdo. I swear, I think it was last year before, I was looking at my artfight roster, like, oh dear. Most of my characters here are some flavor of criminal and or cannibal. What does that say about me? Wasn't even gonna ask, but now you will. Ask away. Unless it's the sound effects things. In that case, don't. I don't have an answer. Day as a criminal? I plead the fifth. Though it is worth saying that it has been my motto on this channel for a very long time that, when the laws are unethical, what is left but unethical crime? Or what is left but ethical crime? When the laws are unethical, what is left but ethical crime? There we go. Weird bug. Like, I am not nearly at the rendering stage yet, but I really want to color his eyes just cause. Cause this expression pleases me far more than it has any right to. A little bit early, but I will add just a couple of little highlights here because they please me. Will also help my brain distinguish his weird little mantis bug eyes there from his humanoid eyes. There we go. I don't even know if you can see the detail I just added on the full piece, but a detail was added. No, it's too early for that. I don't know how to add this yet. I need to color it first. I'll know what I'm doing when I know what I'm doing. Am I in the right layer? What layer am I? I'm not even on. Huh. Wait. What layer? I don't even know. What? A whole new layer appeared out of nowhere, and I don't know where it came from, and I don't know what I meant to put there. Oh, wow, it doesn't even show you when I flip my canvas back and forth. Wild! So you can't see all the times that I flip my canvas horizontally in order to compensate for the fact that I am right-handed and therefore certain kinds of curves are difficult. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't show. Probably makes it an overall more watchable experience, but I'm flipping it like every couple of minutes. Really, every time I have to draw a curve that does not go like that. If I have to draw a curve that goes like that, I'm probably flipping my canvas. What am I streaming in? I am streaming in Procreate using Capture Card. But this is my first time doing it this way because the way I used to do it stopped working. So there is a little bit of trial and error, I don't know what I'm doing weirdness. Yeah. Making it up as I go. But that's okay. There's a reason why my channel description is I don't know what I'm doing, but that's not about to stop me. Those are the words by which I live. Making it up as you go along is oftentimes one of the best ways to learn. You gotta make mistakes before you can learn from them. Okay, now let's go back to that sketch layer that I have no intention of ever actually making invisible. I'm just going to slowly refine it out of existence. Let's go to his expression and erase some of these lines that show through the hair. Don't always bother to do that, but I will this time. Such a weirdo, this bug. I say with love and affection. And what layer did I put that? Oh, his ears on the same layer as his hair. Okay. Didn't mean to do that, but I guess we're here now. Combine down, combine down. Let's put all these layers in a folder for ease of invisible. There we go. Should probably also figure out what's going on with the, this poor sucker here. The victim. Need to figure out the gut situation. I can't brain. I just scribble a bunch, like, I don't need to have real detail, right? I can add the impression of detail by just scribbling a bunch. Or I could just do an Among Us style. little meat bone. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I am not actually all that familiar with how a neck would look after the head is torn off. It's not something I have seen IRL. And if I had, I sure wouldn't admit to it. Let's texture out. Or just scribble more. And again, scribbling more. Big bone mess of blood. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna mess of blood and trust that however I wind up shading this will cover the fact that I have no idea what's going on right here. Or really right here. Or really anywhere. Yeah, jugular veins there. Yeah! The neck is, you know, kind of important for stuff, so, like, if it breaks, things go haywire. No. I don't know how. Maybe. I guess that'll do. I kind of wanna. Finishing sentences? Who does that? Couldn't be me. Eraser too big, it scared me. Was not expecting. Hard hands, Pixie, hard hands. I'm making hard hands at the screen. You can't see me, but I am. Hello and welcome. Let's erase that, those sketch lines, and kind of refine them out here. Except I don't like how that worked either. So actually I'm gonna undo everything I just did. And now I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna erase these lines? Maybe? I don't know. Like, the reference image, True? Swear, it's not voluntary. I just, like, I start babbling. I forget how to talk. It just happens. I'm trying to get like the baggy, bunched up, like, but thick fabric, and I am not achieving that effect. I need to erase all of that. I do not like it. How does fabric? How do arms? What are arms? That's today's stream. Checking in during quick. Well, swinging by is very much appreciated. I hope the D&D nonsense is going well, or at least going entertainingly interesting. Because goodness knows I know how things go. Do I want Canoon there in the background? Does he need to be there? I don't think he does. I think he just confuses the piece. Which means that when I post this, I'll post it with a not pictured Canoon in the background, looking exhausted as he has to deal with these shenanigans. Maybe this. No, that's not quite right either. But it's closer. Nobody got assassinated because their real name was accidentally used. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Kind of try it like this for now. I kind of sketch with the strategy. If I just put a bajillion lines in the area, your eye will pick the one your brain likes best. It's fine. Doesn't matter what's actually on the page if you see the correct thing. Lurking is very much appreciated. Oops, I meant to draw there, but I had the eraser selected. That happens more often than I'd like to admit. Honestly, I should probably disable the setting where I can switch from the eraser to the pen by just tapping on the pen. Because I always forget about that feature when I'm actually drawing. My muscle memory just has me reaching up to the eraser every time. So I only ever seem to trigger that on accident. In theory, it would be handy and useful and convenient. In practice, it jump scares me. Oh, yo, by all means, throw that my way over on Discord. It might well be helpful. So yeah, I, haven't yet got to the point of looking up references for that. Should probably maybe refine out these lines a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And make this a little bit more visually coherent. Nope. Wikipedia link works too. I see, I see. Animated conga rat emote? I do want to practice animation more. Huh. I'm considering. The chances are non-zero. Cannot promise anything, because I am easily distracted. But non-zero. There we go, that works. Especially if we sort of erase that touch a line right there, and then come and like refine these like here. Let's add the suggestion of a pocket there, as much for guidance as anything. I don't know how fabric works. I need to learn how fabric works. And then again, when I actually come to rendering the piece, this is probably going to be more or less hidden in shadow. So maybe I don't have to worry about it too much. Good things happen, conga rats. I hesitate to make promises because making promises leads to breaking promises. But I will try. Reminds me, I'm thinking I'm gonna make the cowboy bird doodle I did into like a sticker or something. Like maybe an emote. I don't know how it'll read tiny, but like doing something with that because I enjoy the way it came out. There we go. It's coming along here. Just scribble a bit more to darken this, then it'll inevitably end up cursing myself later when I'm like, what layer did I draw that on? The wrong one. It's fine. I regret nothing. Did you find that? What layer am I on? Oh, a new one. Cool. Nice. And my pen is coming unscrewed again. That's fine. Fixed it! Let's add a little bit of hatching here to sort of give shape to this mess. Hard hands. Oh, a musical episode. I dig it. I dig it. Hard hands. Best of luck. I hope you have fun too. I will indeed hydrate so as not to dehydrate. Hydration achieved. Spine unshrimped. And I will indeed stretch. In fact, I will specifically stretch my wrist. And I will pass along your love to the dog. As soon as he reappears from whatever sunbeam he's lying in. Tally mark will be added to the word count. And, of course, the ancient contract has been honored. Now back to drawing whatever this is. A picnic. It's a picnic. There's the dog. Hi, puppy. Pixie says hi. Yeah. You big baby. You coming to join me? Coming to curl up in your streaming chair? Yeah, you're a good boy. Gave him a little kiss on the forehead. My apologies, but I must honor the redeems. Let's add some more scribble shading. Hatching, it's called hatching. As I draw the cannibal picnic. Just remembering the song I used to sing sometimes at zombie camp. If you go out to the woods today, you better not go unarmed. It's lovely out in the woods today, but you won't come back unharmed. For every Zed that ever there was is gathered out there in the woods, because tonight's the night that everything wants to eat us. What layer is that on? Oh, switch layer? What layer is that on? Oh, a layer of its own. Okay. What layer? Ah, here's where those dots are on my base sketch layer. Really fallen in love with hatching. It goes well with my scribbly vibes. I have often been accused of characters looking inexplicably attractive for no reason. And I'm like, question mark, question mark, question mark, I just go here. But the horror movie zombie vibes are kind of more what I'm aiming for here, because this is a cannibal picnic! There we go. That's the kind of vibe I wanted. Shading. There we go. Everyone is attractive until proven otherwise. Fair and valid. There we go. That's looking good, I think. Honestly, I don't normally, what? Oh, it would help if I was drawing with a pencil instead of the eraser. Like, I don't know why I'm engaged in shading this fella when I still haven't fully drawn the other fella. But, far be it from me to deny my own whims. I need to carve out a little bit more shape from this shadow. Maybe a little bit more there. A little bit of scribbling right there. Just a touch right there. And then let's also a couple of lines right there to make the mouth at the proper depth. I've really grown fond of tools that imitate like a ballpoint pen texture. I really, really enjoy those vibes. In fact, the last art program I used had like a proper ballpoint pen tool, and I really missed it when I switched programs. But the pen I'm using now is close enough to scratch that itch. There we go. I don't remember if it's that setting by default or if it was me screwing with the settings until I made it the way I like, but I like it now. Let's also refine the weird sort of segmenting my fella's got on his face, because he is quite literally a bug. He is a praying mantis themed species that eats people. no, fair and valid. Yeah, no, like, I get ya. I get ya. It's, no, it's like the thing, one of the reasons why I stopped watching TV, like, there's a lot of reasons, and a large part of it was I just did not have access to, like, a TV for a while. And then losing access, I just never got around to, like, once I got access again, I had already stopped caring. But one of the reasons why I never went back to, like, watching TV is because people so often, at least on American television, they're so pretty, it's in Uncanny Valley, they don't look real anymore. It's like, off-putting. It's off-putting. Real people don't look like that. When I see, like, folks in an action scene who aren't allowed to have a hair out of place, or everybody's got the same, like, perfect... I don't like it. I don't like it. I'd rather look at real, quote-unquote, ugly people than the same 3 faces stapled over reality. I drew that on the wrong layer. Whoops. Circle that. Cut! Paste. I don't know why, but a weird verbal tick I've picked up every time I say copy paste. I am, for reasons completely unknown to myself, imitating the Super Smash Bros. Announcer. Copy. Paste. It just happens. It's also, like, I'm out here extremely arrow ace. So whenever people are discussing folks they find attractive, sometimes I can see it, and other times I'm just like, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, I'll take your word for it. It is a mystery to me. Valid? The Yahoo is very, very catchy. It's like some part of my brain has forever stored the Super Mario Sunshine. There's a game I would love to go back and revisit, but the controls, after so long not playing that style of game from that era, are completely alien and off-putting to me. If I could remap the buttons, maybe. But digging it up on the actual ye olde GameCube would be a nightmare. Still have my GameCube though. These lines should probably be shifted in favor of the furred coat collar, more eclipsing the hair like that. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I'm drawing this picture, and I'm just like, with all the affection in my heart, just like, what a couple freaks. I love them. There we go. fanfics of your name where he's a CEO vampire, alpha half werewolf. Yeah, yeah. I forget what I was saying already. How do I want the shading on these antennas to go? Is it something like that? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, what's an overrated book? That's a good question. Thinking. Because it's hard, because a lot of the time, like, I don't feel confident to speak on books that I haven't read, but a lot of the time, if I'm not enjoying a book, I'll just put it down. And as they say, there's no accounting for taste. So there's plenty of things that, like, a lot of people really love that just completely, like, I'm not the audience for. Like, I can tell you, when I first heard people, like, talking about the Game of Thrones, Ice and Fire, Song of Ice and Fire, I think is the book series. I remember people hearing people talk about it and almost immediately going, you know what? Even though I am a fan of fantasy, I don't think that series is for me. But I can't necessarily say if it's overrated or not because I haven't read it to form an opinion. And books that I have read that gosh. Even, like, thinking of books that I've read that I liked but not as much as other people liked them, I'm like, I don't know if I would necessarily say overrated so much as just not, like, the only thing, it's not even that the book is overrated, it's that I like the author's other work even more. The Hunger Games. It's good. But I liked Suzanne Collins's Gregor the Overlander series a lot more. Like, those books defined me as a kid. But The Hunger Games, I didn't get around to reading the whole series until, like, ways later, and I didn't enjoy it quite as much. It was good. And I definitely think it has things to say that are worth saying. But the Gregor the Overlander books, made my brain buzz. Hello, dog. You've come to distract me? I'll give you a couple of scritches, but then I have to get back to drawing. Oh, but then you're making that face. It's hard to stop. You silly. There we go. Classic vanilla fantasy world protagonist. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be real. I'm a huge fan of fantasy. I am not a romantasy person. It is not my genre. I don't mind romance when it is a subplot, when it is... Okay, no. What I'm trying to articulate is I don't mind romance when it is not entirely reliant on cultural signifiers, shorthands, and assumed chemical responses. if the main character just has fireworks and just has the hots for the dude and it's like they don't like each other as people, okay, then don't do it. What's the big deal? I don't get it. Sorry, I'm too ace. It's just I'm not the audience for it. But I don't mind romance when it's more grounded in the characters as people, and it's their experiences of the world and their interpersonal interactions. But that is not as common to find and a lot more difficult to advertise. So I more often come across that sort of thing by coincidence, as opposed to ever having sought it out. But that also means that a lot of really popular books that a lot of people really seem to enjoy, I don't even bother trying because I already know that they are just part of a genre that is not for me. And that's fine. Not judging people who enjoy that kind of thing. But I enjoy different things. And in fact, that's kind of what drove me to get into writing as a kid. Is there weren't a lot of books that did stuff in a way I enjoyed, but there were a lot of books that did things I found annoying, and I was like, there needs to be more of the kind of content I like, so I'ma do it. Like factions that have a rule to kill the weakest part of the faction. So, and that's why eugenics is one of the many reasons why eugenics is bad. It is, kind of wild to me how many, like, fantasy settings are low-key kind of, super authoritarian, and, yikes. Sometimes that's the point, but then sometimes it's not the point, and I'm just sitting over here, like, sipping tea, like, excuse me? Excuse me, he did what? Chosen One sickness. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's one of those things that does not make me want to finish a book. And again, a lot of my writing is kind of in reaction to that. Like, I love taking fantasy tropes and going like, okay, but what if it was just some guy? Like, I've described Wardbreaker as being, the misadventures of Thug Number 3. Like, yeah, he's the main character, and yeah, like, there are moments where, obviously, if interesting things didn't happen, and if he did not have some agency in driving the plot, the story wouldn't be about him. But, like, fundamentally, I try and write about people who are just some guy, because at the end of the day, I'm just some guy. And I don't love how I'm gonna say the Cinderella fantasy. The idea that actually you were somebody's super secret, special, ancient bloodline, magic, blah blah blah, chosen one. How that sort of, when that's the only narrative you ever see, it sort of presents a vibe where it's like, unless you were born special, you're never gonna be more than a peasant. And like, screw that? No? What if I choose myself, thanks? How come the villains are the folks who only ever seem to choose themselves? Like, what if the Usurper King had a point, huh? How come the, true king deserves to have the throne? What if he sucks? What if the true king sucks? Why are we defending the status quo? Is it just because it's the status quo? If that's the case, I might be siding with the villain. Gosh, now I'm thinking of, now, disclaimer. I was an Aragon kid. When those books were coming out, I was exactly the demographic. But in retrospect, those books are difficult to revisit. I won't make any statements, any overall statements about, like, I'm not gonna say it's bad because that feels reductive. I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm gonna say? Those stories are in many ways immature, which is fine because the guy was like a teenager when he wrote them. And I respect that a lot, and that was in part a huge inspiration for me as a young writer. But there are places where that shows and it detracts from the story he was attempting to tell. And, where was I going with this? I had a point. I was making a point. Oh, right, the Galbatorix problem. That bad guy is just kind of the bad guy because we're told he's the bad guy. And he doesn't, like, make an appearance at all on screen, on proverbial screen, until, like, the very last book. And it's like, why is he bad? Question mark, taxes? Question mark, he killed a bunch of people the reader never met and never cared about? But, like, you need more from a villain than that. Help? Main character relations. Yeah. Yeah, guy capable of destroying the world caused a problem and lied his way into making this random guy the protagonist, if valid. Yeah, Galbatorix was the, evil king of the inheritance cycle, the Aragon books, who never appeared on screen until the very last installment. The actual antagonists of the story were, like, the lesser villains you met along the way. But supposedly the final boss was King Galbatorix, who was supposedly big, bad, evil, and all-powerful. But just that distant threat of a villain who's just kind of evil because we're told he's evil. And the legwork did not make it onto the page, into the text, to justify the opinions that the reader was supposed to come to hold. What layer did I scribble on? Where are those scribbles meant to be? What am I doing here? You know what, screw it. I'm collapsing some of these layers just because I can't tell anymore. Aha! Found it. I'm gonna apples are good. Welcome back. Enjoy thine apple. I do not know how lights work or how to shade the sky. If I just scribble enough, it'll figure itself out, right? That's how drawing works? Maybe? Green apples are better? Considering? Depends. Depends on the type. I don't remember what my favorite kind of apple are, but there's some of the ones that are kind of greeny and kind of reddy, and they've got the both. Really, the worst thing is a grainy apple. Apparently those grainy, kind of mushy apples are good for baking. But no, I like a nice, crisp, tart. But then again, I love apples, but I only ever find them worth eating when they are fresh picked off the tree. I eat apples in the fall, and that's just about it. I love to go apple picking, though. And when we go apple picking, I will eat as many apples in a day as I can without getting sick. Love apples. An apple pie, an apple crisp. So many delicious things can be done with apples. I almost forgot, this character has fur on the back of his hands. I keep doing that when I'm doing these art fight pieces where I draw like most of the character and then I realize like 3 seconds from the end that I've forgotten a key detail. We'll make that line a bit thinner and break it up to sort of imply the fur. Apples are super juicy and super legit. Yeah, when apples are in season over here, they're delicious. But a lot of the time, you know, if we get them and they're not locally grown and fresh, they just wind up like, I don't know. They don't taste ripe, kind of tasteless, not worth it to me. But then again, I'm also like not super allergic to fruit, but the kind of mild fruit allergy where my mouth itches and it's fine, it's just uncomfortable. But it's just uncomfortable enough that unless the fruit is really good, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth the effort. So love fresh apples. How did I draw the hands? I'll be real, I have the pose models, but my method for drawing hands when I am drawing hands is I kind of start with like a weird, squarish shape, and then I mock up where the fingers go, and like that's the muscle that connects to the thumb, and then the thumb itself. And it's just the other muscles are like right here-ish. And then when I am drawing hands at a weird angle, if it's not the squarish shape, they're kind of like looking at my own hand here, kind of got a triangle shape, and the thumb muscle's like here, and then this segment is there, and then like that muscle's like here, and then like bloop bloop, bloop bloop. So yeah, I tend to do it like that. And then of course I take these really scribbly things and I just go over them a bunch until you can't tell it's wonky anymore. But hands are definitely something I need to practice more, because like that is kind of the perpetual state of art, isn't it? Needing to practice hands. I know when I took that drawing class, we had a couple of assignments that were specifically just like, what was it? We had an assignment to draw hands, but specifically to draw our hands, paying attention to like the details that make it our hands. Always look like sausages. What a mood. What a mood. I feel that way about the hands I draw a lot. Like whatever's going on here with this hand, I need to fix it a lot in ways that I am not entirely prepared to wrestle with right now, which is why I've kind of been shading this guy instead. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it looks sausagey. So what layer is that on? Where am I? Over here. Like, and there's my random accidental line. Like, if I take my own hand here, I think part of it is... Ah! Okay, so the thumb itself is kind of like here, and then like here. The skin kind of creases like there-ish, and then there's the muscle. So I'm probably gonna go back and take it from scratch. So here we have our knuckles and our thing, and I'm gonna... Of course, the trick is always like getting my own hand, my reference, at the angle I'm trying to draw. It's probably also the fact that I didn't have the jointing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Gonna render it? Yes, I am. I plan to In fact, just for the sake of I want to scribble it, I'm gonna scribble it. It's probably easier if I don't use the smallest brush in the world. And I am, for the moment, just color selecting off of the reference because, why not? The way I render, I've lately fallen into a style I rather like, where a lot of the shading comes from the line work, the line weight, and just the hatching, and then the colors themselves are kind of flat. Or like relatively simple sort of pseudo cell shading. I find it reads well, often better than when I try and do things. I often find myself overdoing shading in a way that doesn't end up looking very good. I'm trying to break that habit and do things without overdoing. Do them just enough. Gonna crash out? Oh dear. Red. Yeah, because I do so much of my shading in the... Oh, I forgot that the guy got a layer here. I should include that. I have not watched that movie. I don't watch a lot of movies. It's a rare day when I have the attention span to sit down and watch a movie. There we go. That's about right-ish. And of course, just like with the sketch, I'll come back and I'll refine these lines and splotches later. Nice off-white for the eyes and teeth, because eyes and teeth in real life are not actually white. Screw you, toothpaste advertisers, and your stupid tissue test that isn't real. Nobody does that. I'm not gonna bleach my teeth. Yeah. Yeah, my music tastes are, eclectic, and I listen to music just only slightly more regularly than I watch TV. Um, Most of what I listen to is whatever song happens to be stuck in my head at the time on repeat for 3 years in a row. And is usually related to whatever project I'm working on to write. So, like, to write my 1920s and 30s gangster character, I got into jazz. When I was writing Windswept, I listened exclusively to sea shanties. And it was really, really funny to me a few years ago when sea shanties just, like, took off and suddenly everybody was listening to them because my music tastes are rarely, relevant. I am not the person people come to for music recommendations. People are coming to me for music recommendations. It was surreal. Fair. Yeah, I'm very narrative brained, so I like songs that tell a story. And I especially like songs that tell a story when the story isn't just hello there's this person and I love them a lot. Slash hello there's this person and I love them a lot, but they betrayed me, slash I betrayed them, slash it didn't work out, slash, you know. Like, that's fine, there's a place for that music, but I'm not the audience for it. I think that's why I enjoy sea shanties so much. Because while there is a subset of that, a lot of the songs are also like, hi, I'm a sailor, the weather is really bad. Hi, I'm a sailor, and this job is really hard. Hi, I'm a sailor, and gee, aren't whales something? Nothing else. It's variety, at least. And as my Animal Crossing villager said to me once, variety is like the pinch of cumin in a simmering soup pot of life. Oh, Epic the Musical. Yeah, I've had several people recommend it to me. I haven't gotten around to it yet because, again, attention span. Um, but my good friend Softy actually wants to sit down and make me listen to it. I've heard bits and pieces. They've crossed my orbit. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. It's amazing. It's fair. Yeah, I've only ever heard good things about it. Although part of me is just shuddering, having flashbacks to when I studied ancient Greek. I had to translate parts of the Odyssey, and no, that was the Iliad. My pronunciation is probably terrible. What have I been listening to lately? I haven't been. I haven't been listening to music lately. Although sea shanties have been running through my head, as well as other similar labor songs, like 16 Tons and what's that one? The Chemical Workers song, as I think the title. Well, I'm a process man, am I? And I'm telling you no lie. I work and breathe among the fumes that trail across the sky. There's thunder all around me, and there's poison in the air. There's a lousy smell that smacks of hell and dust all in my hair. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place, you're 2 days nearer death. But you go. That one. That song pleases my brain. Be rendering this fellow and I haven't even done the other character yet. This is so out of my normal order. But so it goes. I am who I am as a person and I cannot change that. Oh, I dig it. Yeah, I need to get around to it. I need to listen to more things. I need to expose myself to more culture. I've made the joke before. Like whenever I play, whenever I'm invited to join a VTM game, I tend to make a vampire character who is, for whatever reason, stuck in the past. They're older and they have no sense of modern pop culture, because I am, in a sense, I have no concept of modern pop culture. My pop cultural knowledge is, well, I might have been up to date in the 14th century. I can tell you a good bit about pop culture in the 1920s. But today, goodness. You know, where's my little, there's my little notebook. I will write down our furniture in my mouth as I go to grab an ink pen that can scribble on paper. Is that a pen with ink? That's not a pen with ink. That is a pen without ink. Dropped my pen. Popped out of my mouth as I was talking. There I go. Note scribbled. I should probably also, whoa, wait. There's a stray mark somewhere on this layer. Where is that stray mark? I can see it in the thumbnail. I can't see it in the actual thing, so I'll just grab this entire part of the screen and yeet. There we go. Yeah. I'm also the kind of person, when I listen to a song, I like to, I really want to, like, listen to it. Go all in on the, I gotta stop everything else and really pay attention. Usually I like to read the lyrics, too, because otherwise I have no idea what anybody is ever saying. Actually, let's do that bit. Because auditory processing is what? The problem sometimes with the music is slow. My brain just fully wanders off in between the beats and I have no idea what's going on. The ancient contract has been honored. But yeah, no, I will check it out later. I will check it out later. Actually, no, the last music I listened to, I still have not finished reading The Count of Monte Cristo because I got distracted and wandered off because that book is a brick. But when I was reading it, I also got myself listening to a couple different musical adaptations of The Count of Monte Cristo. And actually that song was stuck in my head when I woke up. The, what is it? What is it called? Oh, The Drama Unfolds. Where Benedetto is put on trial! Heart hands looking is very much appreciated. As I spiral into 30,000 topics all at once. Reminds me of, I should do a time check. Okay. I've got about half an hour left before I gotta go run to join my parents as they celebrate their anniversary. Let's erase this and let's... Right, I was gonna come over here, and I was gonna come over here. I gotta erase some of these lines. and then draw other lines. I say is that is not my entire art process in miniature. Okay, now I'm gonna make that invisible so I can focus on the bug. Such a goofy expression. I love it. It pleases me. It's a weird design. Because he's styled after a praying mantis, but also humanoid. And he is specifically supposed to have weird proportions that don't, like, that you wouldn't see on a real human. He's skinny with them big bug eyes. Where's that line and why is it there? Is it even part of him? No, that's not. It's a stray line from somewhere else that got there on accident. I see. Should probably collapse some of these layers. Make it less confusing for me. Should also probably get some detailing here on the blood and guts. Let's see. What am I actually, what's actually going on here? Don't know. Yeet. No, I said yeet. Wrong layer. I wanted to highlight this section and yeet it off page. Okay, as I turn my own canvas upside down and accidentally create a bajillion layers I didn't need, let's do that thing where we break the shapes down even further and sort of figure out what bones are in this region. It's kind of rib cagey. And if we have rib cagey things, that's where we can start, like, I think that's actually what this is supposed to be, is ribs, like, pried apart. Because, cannibals? Well, it's not really cannibalism. This fellow's human, that guy's a dog man, and the other guy's a bug. There we go. But man-eating nonetheless. If I scribble enough, it doesn't matter. If I scribble enough, it doesn't matter. And I kind of want, like, guts. I definitely ought to study more anatomy. It's the other perpetual state of the artist. Maybe something like that? Oh dear. My tablet is dying, which I guess works since I only have 20 minutes or so left. So we'll see which happens first. Time runs out, or if my battery does. Because unfortunately, my tablet was not fully charged when I started. I thought it was, but it wasn't. Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Weird sketch. Looks like a demon. Oh dear. Can I... Ah! Oh dear. Dust like spilled all over my mouse pad at some point, like crafting dust, and it's all over my mouse pad, and I don't like it. Adorable? What are you talking about that's adorable? I love it. I need to clean up my craft dust. But I'm not doing that now, I'm drawing right now. I'm also procrastinating because I don't want to anatomy. I don't want to anatomy. Why? Did I do this to myself? Because my dearly beloved nemesis sent me a beautiful picture and I want to reply in the same theme. Got a bunch of cannibals hanging out in the cannibal woods, and now I'm drawing a cannibal picnic. The knee here and knee here. I'm probably gonna scribble all that, shade it kind of out of the picture. The biggest thing is just I gotta make the guts-ish. I gotta like, no, not like that. Maybe? Almost. But it's wrong. I can't quite articulate how it's wrong, but it's wrong. Maybe something like that kind of does the job. Hello, puppy dog. I know it's getting close to dinner time, but it's not time yet. No, don't lick my face, sir. Need you to go away. Go away. Good boy. I'll kind of shade this like this, maybe. Get that horizontality is a word. It's not a word. It's a word now. Let's kind of refine these lines like such. Kind of do that. It doesn't really matter if this fella on the ground turns out perfect, because, like, he did. Kind of do it like that. Maybe some of these lines and some of these lines. intestines. I'm not sure about them intestines. I don't know if I like them. Like, do I want that to be intestines? Or do I want, like, maybe a lung? Dripping piece of mystery meat? Actually, I kind of like the dripping piece of mystery meat. Kind of move that there, and heck. Dripping piece of mystery meat with a bite taken out of it. Yeah! That's better. That's a lot better. I like that more. That's better. Of course, I need to make it invisible now so I can refine the bug's hands. Don't actually remember how I do this guy's wrists. Are they... it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. What the mystery meat? Are these... How do? Yeah, that'll do. Such. He's so goofy. Scribble shading in there, but lightly. He's a silly. Hi, Pixie! We can indeed use the evil voice. We can indeed channel my dear Canoon here, who has been excised from the background because he's not in fact needed, but nonetheless is here in spirit, long-suffering and exasperated. As he watches these children with no propriety, no sense of table manners, so messy. After all, he was always, in a sense, a janitor, doing the dirty jobs that needed doing, that nobody else wanted to lower themselves to see done. Cleaning up the messes left by the other children of the night. Such is the way of things. Such is his purpose. And of course, far be it from him to stop these children from fulfilling their purpose. However, there's no reason to cast aside things like grace and dignity. He says as a fellow who can open his face! I will indeed stretch and hydrate. Good stretch. Kind of stretch where I can't see for a moment. It's like, I swear, after the stream of drawing, my wrist hurts a lot less than it has in my past couple of streams of gaming because I don't have my wrist rest. I need a new wrist rest so bad, but I keep forgetting to go buy one. I have now finished my water bottle. I was actually thinking last night as I was on the verge of falling asleep, lamenting the fact that my wrist hurt. I was thinking of, like, how silly would it be if I went and attempted to make myself, rather than buying a new wrist rest, a new ergonomic mouse pad, what if I just, like, made myself a stupid glove with a built-in wrist rest? Would that be annoying? Or would that be functional? I don't know. And I don't know if I'm motivated to try, but I might be. Sometimes I get bit by that crafting bug and I just want to make something with my hands. Fair. I mean, I have criticisms of, the way Doctor Who was written under that particular writer. And I am not in the, I am not alone in that. But Don't Blink was a good episode. Don't Blink was a lot of fun. It's really a shame, because the things he does well, he does really well. But then the things that he doesn't do well annoy the heck out of me. Like, even some of the episodes that people, like, really like that were written by him irritate me because things, dialogue, are they actually speaking to each other or are they just quipping at each other? There is a difference. My tablet just gave me the 5% battery warning. Which means I'm probably going to be wrapping up more or less exactly at 4, because I can't go beyond the limits of my battery. Because unfortunately, the way I have my stream set up, I cannot have my tablet charging while I am streaming from it. Alas, alas, alack-a-day. However, I am going to be finishing this piece because it is for Artfight, and whether or not, I'm probably not going to be finishing on stream, I'm probably going to try to get it finished today. But, that just means if you want to see the finished piece, you can go find me over on Artfight, where I am still Daybreakathon. Such a goofy little bug. Need to refine the segments here a little bit more, play with the anatomy. I'm not satisfied with it yet. So I go through. Aha! Oof. I'm stretching again. What's who? Huh? Oh, that's Mojave. I am still learning. Every day I am still learning. Learning is never done. And that piece took me a very, 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 very long time to finish. And I cannot produce things at that quality all of the time. I wish I could. But no, that's Mojave, that's my Shadowrun character, and in fact, I believe, I've yet to hear otherwise, we are probably playing Shadowrun over on Table of Horrors tonight. I believe we're supposed to. Provided nobody has any, sudden migraine attacks or internet outages. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, that is Mojave, and he is a mess, but he's doing his best. And I love him. He is a disaster. But a very entertaining one to try to play. As he tries to figure out what the heck is going on between his, shattered brain. He's a mess. He's not okay. It did start out that way. I didn't intend for things to be the way they are, but then they happened. So it goes when you say, hey yo, storyteller, these are the vibes I'm thinking for my character, but I'm also gonna take some amnesia traits, so feel free to just throw stuff at me. Let's collaborate here. Throw me some vibes. This is what I'm going for. You know me. You know the characters I like. Let's have fun together. And thus, I went from being a doctor to portraying a mobster. From a pacifist to a thrill killer. The character evolution has been quite fun, and the character's attempts at coping with that character evolution have been a very, very, very entertaining and fascinating time to play and to brain through. And I've wound up doing so much research into so many different things in order to try to portray him well. Good stuff, good times. What layer is that on? Probably the blood layer? It's fine, it can stay there. Doesn't matter. I say, suddenly finding it, and then, fixing it anyway. Yeah, that'll do. You know what? I don't feel like refining those edges right this second, so I am just, before my tablet dies, gonna slap down some more color. The bug boy is green. I don't think it's quite that shade of green. It's a little bit more that shade of green. With variations, of course. I think his joints are more of a this shade of green, and he's got bits of brown in his design. I don't feel like pulling up my references to check right now, because he's my character and I can do what I want. His hair is blue. Oh, and there's my phone. There is my phone telling me it is time to go start wrapping up, so I can join my folks for dinner. I'll slap down this blue though. But yes, I believe we're supposed to play tonight in approximately 3-ish hours over on Table of Horrors, our weekly Shadowrun game. So you can catch me over there, and I hope to be back with something or other again tomorrow. Maybe another art stream, maybe more Shadows of Doubt, maybe a writing stream. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I never know what I'm doing until I sit down to do it. Regardless, I'm gonna slap down this blue. And then I'm gonna slap down some of this, like this color-ish, a little bit more yellow than that. That seems about right, maybe? I'll check my references later. Just getting some vibes down enough that I can walk away. Because I must walk away. But before I walk away, blood! Anyway. That's as far as I'm gonna get right now. But I put down my pen and I'm gonna find where on earth is that arrow that I accidentally left because I drew it under the reference and forgot about it. I will erase that arrow first. And by erase, I mean circle it and yeet it off screen. Anyway, that's as far as we're gonna get today. Catch me again tomorrow, ideally. Fingers crossed, I hope. Or later tonight over on Table of Horrors. Either way, as always, thank you very much for hanging out with me. It's always a great time. Hope you had fun here, because I certainly did. It's nice to be doing art streams again. It's been a hot minute. Brain. I guess all that's left to say is, of course, as always, I wish you a very fond fare thee well and best of luck to you in all things, and I hope you have a wonderful day / night / whatever it happens to be wherever you happen to are. And until next time, bye-bye!